Hey everyone, it's Jason, your favorite Asian. Favorite Asian. I hope everyone's having a good evening. First off, do you love the new background? Do you love it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Do you love my vintage sound system? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? I know it's old, that it's so old it should be in a museum, but it still works and I love it. So it's staying. First off, I actually chose to film this video in front of this picture because it's quite relevant to today's video, because all I've been doing all afternoon is lying down on my couch, which is actually green as well, and reading, because I could not stop reading this book. So today's video is quite different because we're all getting hammered? No, grammared. We're all getting grammared. It's a book review. And depending on how you guys like it, we can make it into a regular thing. We can pick up a book, or I can pick up a book and I can do a review about that book and let you know my thoughts, because I'm a semi-avid reader. I used to be an avid reader, but now I'm just a semi-avid reader because I probably don't have enough time since I'm asleep all the time. But today we're going to be talking about The Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? I think this book was first published in 2020. Let me just check. Yes, published in 2020, so it's a fairly recent book. And I found out about this book through my cousin. She said she read it and cried, and I thought, well, I have to get this book. Like, if a book makes you cry, it's fucking worth reading. In my mind, if a book makes you cry, it's that fucking good. So I decided to pick it up, but I haven't had the time to pick it up because I've just been asleep, really. But it's always been at the back of my mind since my cousin recommended it. And 2 weeks ago, I was walking through the airport, because where else will I be? Where else will I be? Or would I be? And I saw it in a bookshop. So I thought I'll pick it up, and I'm glad I did. It's a great read. I'm sort of kicking myself that I haven't done it sooner, but it is what it is. And I think there's a part 2 of this book in terms of a book that has the same themes, and I'm gonna pick it up. I think it's called The Bookbinder of Jericho. So I'm gonna pick that up and read it, and let me know if you want me to do a book review of that book. But this book is, without a doubt, a great read. So if you like historical based fictional novels, you'd like this book. If you like a bit of romance, you would like this book. If you like gender issues or gender themes, the lines between male, female, validity, power, that kind of stuff, you would like this book. And if you have interest in the English language and how words came to be, who used them, where they came from, you would like this book. And if you want to cry in the middle of the afternoon on your couch while having, I think I was having Twix, you would like this book. I think everyone should read this book. So it got, one of the main plot lines in this book is how the Oxford English Dictionary was made. And you will meet within these pages real life characters that actually existed. You'll meet James Murray and his daughters and his family. You will meet the contributors to the English Dictionary, and you will meet his research assistants that were real life. But the book is basically focusing on a fictional character and her journey and her goals and how she did it in collecting words because this book goes through the question, not just the process of how the Oxford English Dictionary was made, but it goes through the questions of who decides what words are valid enough to be put in the dictionary. So that poses a lot of questions in terms of how the system worked back in the day and even today. Because obviously we all know back in the day, this was set from 1887 to 1928, I think. So a lot of men were in power. A lot of white men were in power. So from the formation of the Oxford English Dictionary, the main editors were male, the research assistants were male, the people who were behind funding the dictionary were male. But there was a lot of women involved in creating the Oxford English Dictionary. And there was a woman who you will meet in this book called Edith, who was involved from the first words to the last words of the dictionary. So she's a real life person as well. So even though the main character is an actual fictional character, the people around her, or some of the people around her, are actually real life. They're from real life. They're actually lived and breathed and made this amazing contribution to culture, which is the dictionary. Because did you know, let me go through the notes. The first dictionary was formed in 1755, and it was called the Dictionary of the English Language. And it wasn't until 1879 that they decided to do another dictionary. So I did not know that. Did you? Because I didn't know that. So the writing is amazing. It's actually quite grounded, not overly verbose. And there's nowhere in the plot is there too much melodrama. Like it's not melodramatic. I think the drama moves at a great pace. It can be the beginning may be a bit slow for some people, but it picks up once you meet Mabel. Get to Mabel, and the plot goes up even more. But in my mind, there was no boring parts to this book. Not at all. I think everything that happened and transpired was relevant, and I didn't find any character too irrelevant or any event irrelevant. There's no main villains as well, which I find quite refreshing. There wasn't any characters that you will hate because this person wanted to do bad to the main character. There's none of that. There's no main villain. If ever, it's just the world is a villain. How the world is, how the world was back in the day, that's the villain. The events that happened, that's the villain. So, like real life events, like World War I. And because, we all know how bad that was. Understatement of the year, right? Understatement of tonight. And because this book goes through several historical events. So the formation of the Oxford English Dictionary, and it also goes through the women's movement, their fight to get the vote. And then it goes into the World War I. There's also a great Australian connection in this book as well. So, did you know that women in South Australia, Adelaide, and Australia, so that means Australia, got the vote before English women did? I didn't know that. Did you know that? So, what's the dictionary of lost words? So the main character was in a quest to save words because, like I said, a lot of men were in power. So who gets to decide what words goes in the dictionary? Men. And by extension, rich, educated men. So a lot of words were omitted from the dictionary, which is a real thing. And the main character was collecting words that were used and that were common by poor people or working class people, and by extension, women. So even though some of the contributors, a great contributor, was a woman, there were also words used by the common women or common women that were being omitted by the Oxford English Dictionary or by its editors. So she went about and decided to collect all these words and make her own dictionary, which is such a great thing. Like, there's nothing more amazing than saving something of value, whether it's like artwork, something personal in your own life. And for me, like, saving words that would have been lost through time was such a great concept. And it's happening even now. The words that we use is so fluid that the words that were relevant that we were using 10 years ago have probably disappeared by now, and the words that we're using now would probably disappear in another couple of years or a couple of 100 years. So the thought of the English language, and this book goes through it, like it exemplifies it, that the words that we use are fluid. It comes and goes, it gains popularity, it loses popularity, and it can get lost. So, and it's a shame because words leads to knowledge, right? And it's such a shame that we will lose knowledge if no one saves a word. So I think I'm rambling, but get this book. Do not wait. Go to the bookshop tomorrow. Go to Kindle. Go to Apple Books and pick this book up because it is such a great book. And it's such a great companion to another book that I've read years ago, which is The Surgeon of Crawthorne. And I think after you read this, read that, because it will actually give you a great, knowledge or an idea of how the Oxford Dictionary was made. So that's my thoughts. Buy it. Don't wait. It's hot. It's great. It's romantic. It gives you knowledge. You learn so much good words, and you will cry. At least I did. So buy it. And if you like more types of this video, like book reviews, let me know, and I'll keep doing more. But well written. The characters are great. No character overshadows any other character. The events are all relevant that transpires in this book. The events are relevant. And you actually get educated. So yeah, that's really it, really. The Dictionary of Lost Words. I give it a thumbs up. Go buy it.